Have you ever wondered why a metal spoon feels colder than a wooden one even if both are kept in the same room? Or why some materials heat up faster than others? These everyday experiences are connected to the concepts of heat and temperature, two terms we often use interchangeably, but which mean very different things in science. Let's start by understanding what heat actually is. Heat is a form of energy. It flows from a body at a higher temperature to a body at a lower temperature. Think about pouring hot water into a metal mug. The metal becomes warm because heat energy from the water flows into the mug. This transfer of heat continues until both objects reach the same temperature. This is why your tea eventually cools down in a cup. It's losing heat to the surrounding air. Now let's talk about temperature. Temperature is a measure of how hot or cold an object is. More precisely, it measures the average kinetic energy of the particles in a substance. So when you say the room is 25 degrees Celsius, you're talking about how fast the air molecules are moving on average. A higher temperature means faster particle motion. To make it clearer, let's take a real-life example. Imagine two containers, one filled with boiling water and another with lukewarm water. If you dip a thermometer into both, the boiling water will show a higher reading. That's because its molecules are moving much faster, indicating higher temperature. Now, if you touch both containers, you'll also feel the heat, but only heat flows from the hotter container to your hand, not the other way around. Here's another relatable example. On a sunny day, the metal handle of a swing set feels much hotter than the wooden seat. This doesn't mean the sun gives more heat to the metal. Instead, metal is a better conductor of heat, so it transfers heat energy to your hand more efficiently. The wooden seat might be the same temperature but feels cooler because wood is a poor conductor and doesn't transfer heat quickly. Another real-world scenario: if you keep an iron rod and a plastic stick under the sun for an hour, both absorb heat. But when you touch them, the iron feels much hotter. This isn't because it has more heat, it's because it conducts the absorbed heat to your skin more effectively. So what's the difference between heat and temperature? Heat is energy in transit. Temperature is a measure of energy. Think of a large bucket of warm water and a small cup of boiling water. The cup has a higher temperature, but the bucket may contain more heat overall due to its greater mass of water. This tells us that temperature doesn't depend on the amount of substance, while heat does. Let's look at units of measurement. Heat is measured in joules, J, in the SI system. Temperature is measured in degrees Celsius, Kelvin, K, or Fahrenheit, degree Fahrenheit. Now, how do we measure heat and temperature in everyday life? For temperature, we use a thermometer. Mercury and digital thermometers are common. To measure heat, we usually use a calorimeter in lab settings, but at home, we observe it through changes in state, like melting ice or boiling water, both of which involve heat exchange without a change in temperature during the process. Let's also not forget how heat travels. It moves in three ways. 1. Conduction, through direct contact, like heating a pan. 2. Convection, through fluids, where warm parts rise and cooler parts sink, like boiling water. 3. Radiation, through space without a medium, like sunlight reaching Earth. This is why you feel hot standing near a bonfire even if you're not touching it. The heat is traveling via radiation. By now, you should have a clear understanding of how heat and temperature are distinct yet related concepts. They help explain so much about our daily experiences, from cooking food, using air conditioners, dressing for weather, to building safe houses and understanding climate. Right pointing finger emoji. If you're finding this explanation useful and want to continue learning science in an easy and practical way, please like this video and subscribe to our channel, The Knowledge Nest. Your support motivates us to keep creating helpful content that makes learning fun and clear. In conclusion, heat is energy that flows due to temperature differences, while temperature is the measure of how hot something is. Understanding the distinction helps us explain many real-world phenomena, from weather patterns to thermal engineering. Science is not just in textbooks, it's all around us. Keep exploring, keep questioning, and keep learning.